go ahead and get started.
Okay,
Um,
sorry.
okay, so today we have been we want the what we're trying to do with these classes is to try and work through the um, the basics that a family history beginner would work through. And one of the best sites to be able to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen, okay, um, is, um, and then I've got lots of screens up here, so I need to see if I
I
can
wish
get,
I could see one.
okay, just a minute, ancestry, okay, need to close that one. Um, okay, I think it is.
Oh, wait a minute. I got you. I got it big, and I got you, and I got Debbie, and me, and Ham.
Okay, I'm going to share this one. Let me see. Okay, so can you now see my screen? Did I share that screen?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
see it.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, then this is good stuff. And I can even, I'm going to, because my video takes bandwidth, I'm going to go ahead and just turn my video off and I'll turn that back on. Okay, so what we have been doing is we have been looking at these videos from from BYU. Let me show you just really quickly how we get there. If you just type in fh.byu.edu, it goes to their classes. And these Sunday classes, there are the Sunday classes, there's Zoom classes, and then the series. Debbie, you need to talk to Heinz, the Poor New Elders Quorum president, and tell him he needs to take time out to watch this series with Larry Jensen on using German periodicals. Larry has an amazing reputation for German research, and so he needs to have a new buddy, okay? But anyway, over here, there's family history basic tutorials. And when I click on that, they have a series that this is what they call the basics. That these are the things that you really kind of need to know to be able to do real research. And we are now doing the Ancestry series, and there's two Ancestry series. The first one covers how to set it up, how to get around Ancestry, and then the second one is sharing information between Family Search and Ancestry. And each of these have a little handout. If you click here, it will open up the handout. So next month, we would like to cover this sharing information between Family Search and Ancestry. And we talked about this last month, and it was just so fun. Marla, she says, I've been cutting and pasting everything into Family Search. She says, I had no idea that it was so easy to sync between the two. And so this is exciting stuff, that we're going to be learning. I have a copy of the handout opened. Let me see if I don't know if I want to share that or not. But this is what her video looks like. The first thing she talks about is how to create your Ancestry account. And what she says is that you want to go into partner access. Okay. Let me go back here. And she has it right at the top, click on partner access. And this is what it looks like if you type in familysearch.org partner access. Then you are right in there with all of these partners. I wanted to take a minute, though, to just talk about there's just a few additional things. When I'm helping others, they'll come in and they'll say, oh, I don't know if I have an Ancestry account or not. So if you go click on, this is Family Search, this is not Ancestry. If you click on the person's name and you go into settings. Then here is their account. This is their contact. This is their preferences. And this is where you find out what their helper number is. But here on the last one is connected accounts. And so this is really helpful. Sometimes I have come in here and seen people actually have 3 Ancestry accounts. And that's one of the reasons that they're not able to access the account, is that they're sending mixed messages. Okay. And so if they're having trouble syncing between the two or getting into an Ancestry account, if you click here and revoke the access and then go back in and reset up access to the Ancestry, then sometimes that works. It will walk them through. As we go back here, she goes into the next view. Up here at the top, she says, just create your account. But in here, it says, do you already have an account, and sign in? But if you don't know what your account is, then you just need to recover your password. And then you can go ahead and create the tree. When it creates the tree, you can go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and go into Ancestry.com. You don't have to just have one tree. And so when I'm helping people, such as Emanuela, I go ahead and I create another tree for them. Or one way to do it is here it says import a tree from Family Search. And so, for example, it will only import for generations. So you could create one tree that's your mom's tree, and then delete the other side, and have and then name it, your mother's name, and then the other one name your father's name. This helps when I start to get queries or start to do research and I see the tree that they're talking about, then I kind of understand what they're from. It's just up to you.
Carolyn, what happens when you import a tree from Family Search? I mean, do you,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you have to have your ancestor opened over on Family Search? Let's say I'm going to put in 4 trees for each of my great-grandparents.
And that. No, it just starts with you. And that's kind of a little bit frustrating sometimes, because you're saying, wow, I have to delete my father's side, and I have to delete my mother's side. It's kind of up to you. When I am going to research, say, Emanuela's, is what I do is I start with a person. So this is Emanuela's tree. And so all that I did is I started typing in, this is Robert Overstreet. And then when I get into, so when you get up to the 4th generation, so let's go over here. This is Eunice Nicey, and we'll go into her profile. Okay. Then when you get in here, you can click on this and it will say you match with the Family Search. Okay, and you're going to connect. And then once it's connected to Family Search, you click on this again and it says add relatives. And then if it's an end of the line person, you can actually add 4 more generations. And so now it's adding 4 more generations. And for me, that's easier for me to do than to try and import the whole tree and then go ahead and delete all those people. If you are going to delete people, a quick way to do it is right here. There's edit, and you can just delete the person. In the tree, this is a tree search. You bring up this, there's a list of all the people. And so you could even put that in another screen, and then you can go through and delete all the people. It just depends upon how big your tree is. I find growing the tree brings up a lot of people, a lot of records. that and as I do it, I become familiar with the people. So this is what I like to do. Another quick comment here in tools, there's an option and it's called Show Research Tools. And so on this perch and pay, I'm going to unclick it so you can see. Can you see how simple and nice and beautiful this looks? But this research tools is really important to me. And these are some of the things that are here. First of all, I have notes that I write, and I say, let me see if you can see some of my notes. Let's go into her tree. I'm going to type in Robert. Robert Overstreet. Okay, here he is. So this is Emanuela's great-grandfather. And, oh, he doesn't have any. Let's try this one, see if he has some. No, okay, so in here is comments. So there's comments and there's notes. And if I click on comments, comments are viewable by anybody else. And so people can come in and see my comments. And so I could put something such as he mostly used the name Benjamin. This is where I put, so for example, when I was researching last night, everybody had the wrong birthday and death date for a person. It was a lady that was married to somebody else, but yet because she had the same maiden name, they had put her that date in there. And so those are the kind of comments that I'll put comments in there for other people to see. Notes are my notes. And in notes, I will do probate, probate.
Put an extra R in there.
Oh, I need an extra R. Okay,
You did. Yeah, it's
probate.
No R. Yeah, right.
Probate search in Kentucky. Showed these parents. And then this is my notes that I'm keeping as I'm going, these potential parents. And these are the notes that I'm keeping in Ancestry.com so that I'm able to come back and say, now, where was I? What am I going to do? Okay. Now, Ancestry also has, on their very front page, we'll go there. They have a to-do list, similar to Family Search has a to-do list here. So here I have search for Robert Thomas Overstreet. And then when you're done, you can click, get rid of that. If that's something that you like, a to-do list like that, that's okay. But I really like to keep what I'm going to do, what is my next to do here in the notes, okay? This merge with duplicates is incredibly helpful because as you're bringing in records and as you are looking at other trees, you end up with duplicates. And so this helps you to be able to do it. This one, these others are kind of self-explanatory. This view in tree, some people like to view in pedigree, okay? Now, one thing I should mention, when you first create a tree in Family Search, the hints will not appear. And the reason that they don't appear is that Ancestry search engine, when you bring in that big tree, they say, oh, this is, somebody just playing around. We're not going to put our search engine to work in finding hints until these people actually show an interest in this tree, okay? And so the hints just won't populate. And so the first thing I recommend you do right after you have created a tree is go in and start clicking around in the tree on the people that you are going to research. And then that search engine will start to search around and to look for records that you have, okay? So then next comes the question, why am I going to have both a Ancestry.com account and then not just do everything in Family Search? And so I'm just curious, for you, do you have any comments or ideas that you would like to add to that? Why do we need two accounts, or even why do we need to have all of these accounts?
Well, my understanding is that Family Search acts like a wiki, so it can be added to by other people and changed, and I think a lot of people find that frustrating, but I'm sure it also, you know, brings information that you might not get otherwise. But Ancestry, you can, nobody can touch your trees but you, so.
Yeah, oh, that's exactly it, Debbie. And so even I'm here in Family Search. In Family Search, this tree can be changed. And so people get really frustrated because they keep coming back and they say, I do not want to be fixing other people's problems.
But
go ahead. Yeah.
well, but if you have the source,
yeah,
then they can't disagree with that.
Yeah, I've deleted sources or detached sources from people.
Maybe they can disagree with it. They can delete your sources too.
Yeah, they can even they don't delete it. You detach it, so it's
well, detach it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a person who was I think they were mentally demented, that they were actually doing graffiti through the tree. Oh. And they were attaching all kinds of sources that didn't belong in the tree, and they were merging people that didn't need to be merged. And is what I found out by contacting Family Search is that Family Search can actually go back through a person's log and undo everything that person has done. Oh. Okay, so just that you know that that's possible. It takes a lot of bad behavior before they will do that, and they will contact the person. They will talk to them. They will talk to, if it's with a member, they will even talk to, say, their bishop and see what the situation is. This person had caretakers, and they were talking to them, and then they realized that this person just couldn't belong in the tree. So just so you know, that's really important to some people. Okay. Another thing is, we're just going to talk about these.
Marilyn, can I say one thing? I think it was Debbie who said this, but I think it's important about this, how people can just go in and change your Family Search stuff. And that's just extremely frustrating to me, because Maureen and I went to England and did all this primary research and found a breakthrough in our lines that I've been working on that for 30 years. And we finally found this breakthrough. We put it all in, we got all the temple work done. And then this other woman, who's clearly a cousin of some kind, she went in and changed it all back to the old stuff that was completely wrong. And so I wrote her a letter, and I changed it all back again. And then she went and changed it back again. So I can't get it to stay the way I want it. So I've stopped using Family Search as far as my tree. I mean, yes, I look at it, I access it, I get information from it, but I'm doing everything on Ancestry now. So.
I agree completely. In fact, there's a feature where
there's a lot of people that feel that way.
Can upload a JEDCOM, and you'll see what's the source, and it says JEDCOM.
Oh, I've seen that.
And is what it means is they've uploaded a JEDCOM, and then they've synced it in, and they've deleted all of your very intelligent, wonderful, thoughtful comments in there. and it is really, really frustrating. So
Is there anything on Family Search you can do that someone else can't undo?
you can add pictures into your memories, and they will stay in your memories, but people can unattach them from people you attach them to. And so I think that's probably about it. There is,
But I mean, in defense,
yeah,
I think the church does it that way, purposefully. So they
yeah,
can have, like I said, they have the wiki component, Family Search, and then they also have the ancestry. So they know that it works that way. But I do think that there's some benefit in having, the wiki that anybody can add to.
what?
I
You
guess
can
I
log
wish,
in.
and I've talked to them about this. I wish that they would just have the general one that we can all do the wiki on, and
Yeah.
then we could have one that's called the untouchable line or something.
Something like that.
It's our private
Well,
tree.
that's what
Yeah.
ancestry is, right? That's
Yeah.
why you have free access to ancestry through the church. So
Right.
Yeah.
And I do use that, and that's fine.
I think, and people
and
I
I,
talk to, most everybody uses ancestry to do research over.
I,
Unless they use
my heritage or JennyNet. Yep. um, so just quickly, there is the change log that you have here that you can see people can do. And then there's up here where you can send people messages. And I have gotten more aggressive. I try to be happy and friendly, but like this guy here, he put a little song about a grandson peeing on his grandpa's lap, and then he attached it to his great-great-grandfather. And so I've got it not appropriate. And this guy, I think I have a weekly communication with him. Other
Do you
people,
disagree with you, Marilyn?
I think he's senile, I think.
Oh.
And if you go in there and you see the stuff that he's putting on, and that doesn't bother me, but as much as what Brother Scott was talking about. And so in here, I will explain, I'll say, this is very difficult, very intense research. If you would like to call me before you make changes, I would be happy to talk to you. But if you don't, I will be very upset. And is what I do is I say, they are upsetting me without any how can I say, acknowledgement of my feelings. I need to communicate what they are doing is really difficult to deal with. And so that has helped. It has helped. So anyway, okay. Other reasons for using these other trees. Ancestry.com is in other languages. And so my heritage is like 88 languages. So if you are doing Danish research, like my husband Richard, all of the Danes will not use Ancestry.com because it's not in Danish until last year. And so all of the pedigrees that he uses and all of the trees that he gets, his 20 names a day from are on my heritage. Okay. And now
the website is in Danish.
It is in Danish for them. Yeah. So
and Ancestry is now in Danish. They can pull it up.
And Family Search has recently added Danish as one of their forms. Okay. So last year, Family Search added 8 different languages to their 5 other languages. And so I think they're up to a whopping 15 languages. But they needed to, I don't know. So anyway, these other, Emanuela loves JennyNet, right? Because it's French. And
you can have it in several, even German, Dutch, and in there too, if that's what you want.
And that's what I understand. If you're doing German or French, this is one of the sites where you go to find other people that are researching what you want. And you also go to MyHeritage. Ancestry.com has a lot of British and also Hispanic. They put a real pressure on Hispanic because that is the new market that they're trying to reach out to. And then, of course, Find My Past, they have trees. They're working on making those trees communicating between other trees and that. MyHeritage now has a feature that you can import your tree from Family Search, just the way we did with Ancestry.com. My only problem with that tree is that they import my husband's tree and my tree. And because Richard's tree is bigger than my tree, I don't like my heritage tree.
I thought you said you didn't like Richard.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. And you cannot specify who is going to be the person that you grow the tree from. It's just a tree. And then what it does is this is another class, is that it brings all the information that people are adding to Family Search into your tree. So it says, I've added 5,000 pictures to my tree. And I'm going, what? I haven't even been into my tree. So, but people that use MyHeritage love that feature because they can click here. Searching MyHeritage's records by clicking here is better than trying to do the search engine in MyHeritage. And then, of course, we have the same thing here. If I click on this, then it automatically loads the information, okay, into Ancestry.com. It helps to have Ancestry.com open so that you don't have to load it up. But then right here, then it brings up all of these possible records, okay?
Right.
And so then if you click on one of these, the way to sync between the two we'll talk about next week is I could just click on here, I'll save to someone in my tree, and then I type in Robert Overstreet, it's already attached, and then it would save it to the tree, and then I can sync between the two trees, okay?
So
All right.
question,
Yeah.
so you suggest to put your tree on each one of these options there?
Yeah.
Tree,
Yeah.
Find
Yeah.
My Past, all of that.
Right. Yeah, I do. I do it because it helps to sync it back and forth between the other trees. Okay, that's why I do it. And then like we've discussed, I like being able to have a tree that is named Sherlock, that I can go in and I can do research. Very quickly, in the tree, when you go down to manage the trees, there, we'll find Sherlock. I think you're on the next page, Emanuela. There we go. Okay. There it is. Okay. In here, you want to manage the tree. And so, oops, over here, manage the tree. And so this is where you could change the name. You could put a title in here that I could say, this is Emanuela. I can't remember how to spell it.
Well, you forgot an N in there after A.
Okay, so E-M-M-A-N.
U. E-L-L-A.
E-L-L-A. Oh, 3 L's. Okay, A. Okay, tree. Okay. And then in here, then there's privacy settings. And so I can say this is a public tree, or else I can go in here and I can say this is a private tree. If it's a private tree, people would have to ask me to be able to see what I posted. And I have kept this one, usually when I'm researching for other people, I keep it private, but I have put some stuff on here I think Emanuela's family would like to see. And then this next one is you can go ahead and invite other people. And so, for example, here's Emanuela, and I've made her a contributor. I could even make her the editor, that she could go in and edit this tree. I used to do that with my Breinholt tree, and then I had a little niece who came in and started fixing things, and I lost tons of information because she thought she knew better. So I just make people contributors, okay? And then over here you can they can see living people, and then you can remove them if like my niece, if they aren't doing what they're supposed to, I could remove her. Okay, so that's important.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's go back to this tree.
And being a contributor just means
Yeah.
they can look at it, but they can't change it. Is that correct?
They actually can add things to it, but they can't take people away. So they can, it's an add only thing.
But why
Okay.
would you want to do that when they can have their own tree? I mean, why didn't your niece just take your information and set up her own tree? Why did she feel like she had to change yours?
Right. So Emanuela, I have made her a contributor just so that she could go into my tree and know where it was. If it's private, she can't see my tree. She
Sure.
can't import information from my tree. I'll show you some of the things that I have put on the tree that she would not have been able to see. I went into newspaper.com and I got a whole bunch of newspaper articles. Okay. And eventually we'll have to bring these over. They're clear down here. So these newspaper articles that talk about how her family sang for their church and how her grandfather was a barber and his advertisement in the local paper and that. And so these are all things that I would like to share. If I kept it private, she wouldn't be able to see that. And that, so that's just, you know, that's just one of the options. Just a minute. My sweetheart is, no? Okay. All right. Okay. So we're in here, and this is Emanuela's
So
problem.
is Emanuela's name Overstreet or Overt Street?
It's
That's,
over.
it's Overstreet, but sometimes you'll see they've dropped the S. And so when you're searching, you kind of have to go with both of them. So
Is that spelled right there at the top then?
right. So, oh, there we go. Brought over, is that what it is in Family Search?
That extra
Overstreet.
T.
That's a misspelling.
It's a typo. Deb, I needed you to show up sooner. Okay.
I'm
So
sure
let's-
Emanuela noticed that, didn't you?
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
So here is a quick edit up here. So you click here and
Just
over,
take out the T, yeah.
take out the T. There we go.
Yeah.
And he's deceased. And this is just an easy place to edit their
So he'll never
thing.
know then, huh?
He'll never know. Yeah. And I'm not syncing it over.
See, it's right there still.
So under edit, there's a couple of important
Oh,
things here.
Still wrong. It's still wrong, Carolyn.
It didn't
Oh,
change at the top.
Okay. All right. Let me try that again. Oh, let me refresh. I didn't quick save. Is that what I did?
No, you didn't click save, I don't think.
Quick. Okay. Quick it. I do that all the time. I come back the next morning and I say, what? I did all that work and I didn't save it.
Wait, that's still not right.
Oh, is it right now?
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine.
Okay. So there is one more feature that is here. This is edit relationships. So right now our problem for Emanuela is that this person, this George Benjamin Nelson, kind of looks like his father. But Emanuela went to the cemetery where Robert was buried, and this Thomas Robert has a headstone and is indicated to be the father of Robert Overstreet.
Well, pardon. It didn't have a headstone or anything.
Not a headstone, yeah, it was
But it was in the funeral home.
in the funeral home. That's
Yeah.
right.
on their records.
And so we're trying to figure out who this Robert Overstreet was. You know, was he a first husband or a second husband, or who he is?
That would be kind of weird to have two Overstreets married to one person.
That's true. Yeah. But stranger things have happened. Okay. So this is the information that came from that cemetery. So if we're going to search for him, you can do several things. First of all, you can click up here and you can search, and what it will do is bring up their search page, family searches. Okay. When we're in here, there's a couple ways to sort things. One of the frustrating things about both Ancestry and Ancestry is that they use cookies that keep what you've been searching for. And so, for example, with a woman, even though you take out her maiden name, all at once you're still getting all these records for her maiden name. And it's and so you kind of you have to go up and remove the cookies. Okay. One of the things you also
you have to remove the cookies by going into Google and deleting your history for the last hour or something.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do right there. Clear the browsing data.
Yeah, and I hate doing that because I like my browsing history.
I agree. I hate doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I like to see the maiden name because you know, it could be a different person.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm hunting for death records, and all it's giving me is her maiden family. Yeah. So that's, for example, this is the one I have been researching, Texiana Sumner, and it's just really annoying. I find many problems like the one with Emanuela that if I research the females that I often solve the problem. So it's really important to search females. Okay, I'm not in Ancestry. Okay, here we are. Okay. When you first come in as an LDS member, all of these options aren't necessarily checked, okay? According to the video that we watched, I went in to try and find the screenshot that she showed that you had to click to allow family trees, and I couldn't figure out how to get back to that. But I do know that used to be true, that Ancestry didn't include family trees in their search, but yours, and you haven't done anything. Richard says mine does. But sometimes you won't have the trees over here. And so sometimes you just need to click on trees if that's all you're going to search to see what you're wanting. Okay. So here's people who have a Thomas Robert Overstreet. And then you're looking to see how big the tree is. And then you're looking to see how many records they have attached to the person. And then this is a tree that you may want to go in. Now, see, this is a private tree. And so you would need to contact this person, and you would need to contact the tree owner and say, you know, I am also researching here and would just really appreciate if you would allow me to collaborate with you. Okay. So
can they set it so that only you can collaborate, or do they have to make it public?
So just as I showed you up here in trees with Emanuela, how I had given her the right to be a contributor, they can set it so you only view, or they can set it so that
you can do it person by person, individual by individual.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we're just going to go into
Marilyn, when you got to this page where you are now, I interrupted. So how did you actually get to the page that shows all the trees that Thomas Robert Overstreet is located in?
Or is possibly over? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you set all those possibilities?
Okay, so over here, this is our filters. Okay, we have at the top where we would
Okay.
change his name, his place, and we would say adjacent states and all of that. Okay. Important if you're a US research or British search that you pick your collection. Okay. Yeah, and then you click edit search. This new search resets all of these, but your cookies don't necessarily get researched, unfortunately. If you're getting a lot of British records, make sure you go down and click United States there, okay? But anyway, we went clear down here and we clicked on family trees,
Okay.
So
okay?
is that
And then
always available to everybody? I
it
thought you
it just
said
it just doesn't search it. Is I think is the way they've now got it is that, and then there's private trees and public trees. So you could click it that you only want to see the public trees, okay? And then you go through and then you can see the trees that they're in, okay? Okay, so now we're going to go back
Thank you.
to the categories, all categories, okay? This is another area. Okay, let me go back. Okay. Are we having fun? Oh, am I making you dizzy? I worry about that. Okay, let me go back one more.
Let me
Okay.
ask you a question. But
Yeah.
you were looking into getting into the tree of that Nelson Overstreet, and see the Nelson name is
Yeah.
what bothers me because it's not repeated anywhere else. It's not
I
in the children where the Thomas and the Robert are.
We're going to solve this, Emanuela. And not only that, we have a cheering team here that are all going to celebrate. We're all going to bring candy, let's see, ice cream, I don't know, popsicles, something to this class. And
Just
we'll
peaches.
all, peaches, we'll all bring peaches and we'll celebrate Emanuela resolving her conflict. Okay. So there's another search that's called categories, and that one's over here. Is what categories does is it breaks up where they've searched with the information over here into censuses, birth and marriages, military, immigration, newspapers, pictures, stories, and so forth. Okay.
Now, how did you get to that?
Okay, I'm going to show you again.
I
So
got
when you arrive, the default is it just has, they call it the, at the top, these are the most matches that match the most information that you have. Okay. All right. And so, but if you go over here to categories, you can see, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I come in and as all that they have is the military records, and I'm going, dang it, I don't want any military records. I just want a good census. And so then it shows me, well, California, Kansas, Ohio, and then it has 18. And I'm saying, well, look at this. We know that he probably lived in, until 1900 or 1800. I don't have any 1800. You can click here and you can get all the results,
oh my gosh,
or
400.
you can come over here, and this is a second way to sort it. So let's say we are wanting, they do have it, we have to look in this 1500. The census and voter list, for example, you can click here and you can then say, I just want the 1900 census. And because I have found Family Search never provides the 1900 census. I think there's something to do with the indexing or something like that. And so you can click on here, you can put in filters, and then you could just pick which census it is that you really, really want to focus on. This has 19 of them that we could look at. Okay. Let me go back and let's talk about some of these other options over on the side. Okay.
let me say something.
Yeah.
I know that they did the 1880 census, but then they had an 1885.
Ah, they did in Kansas.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that is such a blessing. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Emanuela, we love searching in Kansas. They also have wonderful newspapers and periodicals and okay, so
Sorry.
okay, that's okay. Let me tell you, over here they also have land and wills. So is what has happened is Ancestry has a team of indexers that is because Family Search gave them access to all those court records that they went into microfilm, they have been creating an index to deeds and wills. This is one of the areas for brick walls that I absolutely use a lot, okay? So when I click on here, it's going to bring up those collections. So for example, with Emanuela, we could either do her Georgia wills. Let's see. Oh, no, let's do Kentucky wills.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was from Kentucky.
Yes.
And then it, and then you can view these records for these different names. So these are the ones that they brought up. There are a lot more when I went in. So they haven't got a complete index, but it's kind of the first place I check because there is an index. Whereas when we go into Family Search, we're going to have to look at those wheels one by one. So there's
the RL, which is Robert Lee.
Okay, Robert Lee and Boyle County. So then you click on here, and this is his probate. If you click on, let me go back. Some of these is what it will actually show is that what kind of records it is. If it's probate, if it's administrative, there's a whole new category. Another way to get into those collections in Ancestry is if we go to search, okay, and or even to the home page. So on the home page, as you on the side it should be populating. Okay, here we go. They have over here more collections, birth, death, Jewish, that you can do over there, okay? Or else you can go into it by a state, okay? So if we click here.
I don't know that they had any estates. They were barbers.
There are barbers, yeah, okay. I'm flipping around and I need to stay focused. Death, burials, cemeteries, obituaries. They should show us U.S. Oh, they're not. Is it at the top? Okay. Oh, yeah, U.S. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I would go into whichever state it is. They have a death records or Maryland by location. Okay, so let's go into Kansas. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here they have
well, unless he died in Kentucky, because
yeah,
the
but
child was born. Well,
so here is Kansas wills and probate. Okay, yeah. All right. And so if we then pick a county for let's see, what county are we in, Emanuela and Kansas?
Oh, I can't think of it.
What was it? What? Clay County. Okay, we'll pick Clay County. I don't know if it was Clay.
It's Clay County.
But anyway, we can go ahead and you can pick what kind of records.
It's close to Adamond, so.
Overstreet. Okay.
Hey, Marilyn, I've got another Zoom meeting in 5 minutes, so I'm going to leave.
Okay. Thanks, Deb.
All right. Good to see you guys.
So here it is. It's broken up. You can see there's a cover page. There's wills, administration papers, and more pages. Okay. So real quickly, one of the things that Ancestry.com has is the extras. Okay. And there's what's called the Ancestry Academy. Okay. So let's say I wanted to do probate records. then I could just, or newspapers on ancestry.com. And so here is a whole series on how to do wills and probates. And to do the whole thing takes about an hour. And it just shows you how to navigate through. But she also is one of my favorite teachers at conferences. And they're broke up into about 10, they're less than 10 minutes. She explains about wills and probates and what you're looking for and what is not, what to happen. There's helps on researching estate. These are just really helpful videos that are on there that in this help center. Okay.
Who is the author? What's the name of the person?
You know, I want to say Morgan is her first name. Is it Lindsay Morgan? Oh, you would ask me, wouldn't you?
It'll come
Okay.
back. It'll come back.
Okay. It keeps saying I need to sign in, but I'm already signed in. And so I haven't ever had to sign in to watch any of these from the Ancestry Academy. My only problem with it is it's hard to get back. There we go. Okay. So we have extras. I highly recommend the Ancestry Academy. Okay, so one thing, let me explain about newspapers on Ancestry. Well, actually, let's go back. There are collections on Ancestry.com that are not on Family Search. So let me explain. Wills and probate. I used to be able to access some wills and probates in Georgia, and all at once they became locked on Family Search. And even when I went to the Family History Center, it became locked. And so Family Search, even though they have the microfilm available at the library, they no longer had the right to publish it online. When I came over to Ancestry.com, I found that collection in their wills and probates.
Oh.
And so you need to come over here. If you have been looking in Family Search for something, you may need to check and see if MyHeritage or if Ancestry have got the new contractual copyrights to publish those. With that said, newspapers.com, there's two. There's newspaper archive, and then there's newspapers.com. Newspaper.com is huge. Newspaper archive is smaller, but they have their unique collection. And then there's genealogy.com. So the church has created an account with Genealogy Bank. Ancestry.com owns newspapers.com, and it is probably the largest group of newspapers in a subscription database. MyHeritage goes to what is called the Chronicling America. Real quick, Chronicling America. What Chronicling America is that the U.S. government asked for every single state to go through and create a list of every single newspaper. And that's this newspaper directory. So that's a whole separate part of this website. And then they have then given them money to digitize those microfilm, or to, first of all, microfilm those. And so, for example, the University of Utah got the grant to digitize the early Utah newspapers. Every single state has a repository that has been digitizing newspapers. And then those are now available from this Chronicling America. And that's the newspapers that MyHeritage will suggest. I absolutely hate...
I have to go answer my door.
I hate the search engine at MyHeritage, and I would just come here and use this search engine just because you can set parameters. Ancestry.
Are these papers searchable? I mean, you just said I hate the search engine, but are they not searchable? They are searchable.
No. I like this search engine. I do not like my heritage search engine
Oh,
because
I
there are
see.
there are no
We're into chronicling
yeah.
America, and you're talking about this search engine here.
Yes, this search engine. So let's see, let's put in, so for example, my maiden name is Breinholt. So if I put in Utah, and let's say I say anything after 1939 to 1936, and I put in Breinholt, then I would be able to come up with, what? Just a minute. Go. Did I misspell Breinholt? Okay. It usually comes up with my uncle's obituary, and that.
He
And
died
so,
after 1963, or no?
yeah, he did. He did. But he, so the at first it was only up to 1910, and then they got it extended to 1940, and now 1963 is the newest. So anyway, there's an advanced search here. You can actually pick which newspaper you want to search, and then when it brings it up, then you can save it. So I like this one. But back to Ancestry.com. So Ancestry.com owns Newspaper.com. And Newspaper.com is also available for free at the Family History Center. Because you have a membership with Ancestry.com, you can get a discounted membership to to newspapers.com. Okay. And then it's a huge tool. Yeah. And then, but you can't, when you see newspapers come up on Ancestry, is what has happened is there is a artificial intelligence that has been searching all of the newspapers, and it's slowly going through these millions of images, identifying obituaries, and then it's throwing it into an obituary database. And then it will suggest those, okay? And so that's, it's wonderful because this is something that you will find on Ancestry that you won't find on Family Search, is these obituary suggestions that come up. However, with that said, you still may need to go in and search page by page for your people to be able to bring up what you need. So we're going to end with a sweet, let me get back into him. Okay, here, Overstreet, no, let's just go home and go in. I'm giving up. Okay, there we go. Robert Overstreet. No, this is Robert Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay. So this one, you can see the little shaky leaves of people that they're suggesting we have records on. If we go into our profile, then we have these sources. Next month, we're going to talk about syncing. You can sync all of these sources, but, and so you can see newspapers.com obituary, that came up. And is what that did is it told me which newspaper their family publicized in. And so that's an important clue. So then when you go in newspaper.com, then you can say, I need to go into the Globe to be able to see what they're doing. So we're just going to view a few of these. Okay, I'm going to open in a new tab. Okay, it's opening over here.
This is interesting for me. I hope it's not boring for the others.
Yeah. Paul J. Overstreet, the son, is now with the electrical department of Davis Dry Goods of Illinois. Okay. Let's see. I wish Ancestry allowed us to label these. This one is fun. Okay. Okay, I want to view it in another page. Okay, a new tab. Okay. This is the, they sang, it's fun, her family's a barber, and here they sing in the barbershop quartets. And they sing all of these songs and they perform. This is his sister who performs Star of the East soprano solo. It has every single play and performance that she did. And in here, there's even a newspaper that is the advertisement for her husband's grandfather advertising his barbershop. So, oh, okay, here it is. So this one, oh, here it is on this side. Okay, let me see if we can bring that up.
Increases 35 cents.
Yep, price of haircut increased to 35 cents. And there we are. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So
I met this Lena Overstreet.
you did?
Yes.
Wow.
She was an old lady, but that's when I went there, met her.
Okay, anyone else that would has any questions or comments or
There was so much there, I kind of went over my head, but
yeah.
I've gathered a few things.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, thank you
gonna
for all the work you've done.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Yeah, Scott, any questions or
Not really. Just I kind of star the things that I learned that are kind of what I feel inspired to go after. So I'm going to go back in and do that on my own.
great. Okay. That will be great then.
Well, one of my question is,
Okay.
so you've got some of that on this family tree, but
Mhm.
you've researched the Perry or per year,
Mhm.
and so is that going to be the accurate person, or is that just one that we're thinking maybe?
Yeah, so the more information that we have, then the better decisions we will be able to make. Okay.
So it's
And
not
so,
already in Family Search, right?
right. Yeah. So, yeah.
So if I want to go in there now, how do I access it? Maybe I missed that.
Yeah. Oh, the Ancestry or newspapers. Oh, Ancestry.
Ancestry.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
so that's where you put the tree.
yeah, I put the tree. And so I sent you there was an email that was sent you and it said, now you're an administrator. If you would like to, we could stay on and we could go into your tree and I could show you
Okay.
how to go in and access that. We could work through that.
If you have time.
Yeah, we could do that. That would be great. I'm trying to
Okay.
figure out how to stop my zooming.
But you
Okay.
still need to Zoom with me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to get this screen bigger. Can you see, Rich? Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
All the
Okay.
corners.
Oh, here. I think this is maybe this meeting. No.
Well, when the participants leave,
corners.
then I guess.
I'll pull the corner maybe. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close that. And close that. Let's see if
Scott's looking pretty good today.
Scott, you're looking good, Richard says. Okay. Presenting. Okay. Let's see. Available
Right
settings.
click, left click the picture.
Oh, right click, left the picture. Okay. Video, audio, recording. Let me do that. Nope, that's not it. Okay, return to meeting. Okay. Manuela, I'm having the same problem you had.
I wasn't making it up.
You weren't making it up. Okay. Meeting. Okay.
Now, what if I leave and then
Yo,
come back on?
why don't we do that? Why don't we end the meeting and then why don't you we'll come back. I'll let you we'll just take a little break. Does that sound okay?
Sounds fine with me. So
Okay. All right. Okay, let me try home. Maybe that no. Okay. All right. Thank you. You take care. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.